Yes, a few seconds ago. Bones with the motor.
I'm from Coimbatore, if you don't know, and every year when I visit, we go to Kerala because it is one of my absolute favorite states in India. Here we are driving on the way from Coimbatore to Cherai Beach, which is our first stop, and this is the resort we stay at every time. It's so gorgeous, got a lake on one side and the beach on the other side. I'm a total beach girl, so every time I visit India, I go to the beach here at Cherai, look at this absolutely fabulous view. And every time we come here, we take a day trip to Fort Kochi. So come along with me as I show you Fort Kochi. First stop is 108. This is an amazing store housing all the fabulous designers in India that do things with handloom and handcrafted artisanal clothing and accessories. I love what they do. I found them first back in 2018 when they had a project of called Save the Loom, and this was around when the Kerala floods happened, and they helped this village where handloom clothing is made, and they raised funds for it. And now they have this gorgeous store with all of my favorite brands, amazing things. Look at this new brand. It's Baivand, and they make clothing out of discarded fabric, and love the embroidery on everything. India is so rich in textile and handcrafts, so every time I come to India, I want to shop for something very unique. It's also a great place to buy cute present. It is a little pricey, but we ended up getting these 3 postcards, and I bought a really nice shirt. I'm gonna wear it in one of the videos. Then we went to Fusion Bay, which has the best Kerala style food. Kerala style food is one of my favorites. We started with buttermilk, and then we got prawn mango curry appam, which is absolutely amazing, and crispy fried okra. When I tell you this meal sent me like to nirvana, it was the best meal we had in Kerala. You have to go to Fusion Bay if you go to Fort Kochi. This bite, I tell you, perfection. It was absolutely amazing. Then we walked around a little bit, saw some of the old colonial architecture. This is the place where a lot of colonizers arrived, so a lot of Dutch history here, also a lot of British. This is the Old Harbor Hotel, which is a 300-year-old building with Dutch and Portuguese influences. So if you come here, you can also stay here or go for dinner. It's really gorgeous. I love how a lot of these properties are kept quite similar to the olden times, so you can enjoy the architecture. Next up, we went to Brunn Boatyard, which used to be a shipyard from the British times, and you can also see some Dutch and Portuguese influences. There's a lot of colonial history on the walls, so this is quite an interesting place to see. They also have a really great view of the water, and the lovely architecture is something to admire, especially if you're interested in that. And they also display a lot of the colonial history on the walls here. This is the Dutch arriving to Cochin back when pepper was really considered like gold, and Kerala is very rich in pepper. These are olden times fans on the ceilings. Next, we went to Pepper House, which is another great store for Indian designs. I tried on this dress and I didn't get it because for Amsterdam weather, this is quite impractical and not the easiest to cycle on, so it was a no. Then we went to Kashi Ard Cafe for a coffee. I love this place. It has such nice interiors and some really nice vegan options for food. Fort Kochi is also really nice to just walk around because the architecture is really pretty. You also see a lot of graphics. The best time to come to Fort Kochi is during Kochi Biennale, which is an art festival that happens once every 2 years, where a lot of landmarks in Fort Kochi turns into an art installation spot, and it's an absolute must-do. We also found this place on our walk, which had amazing like art displayed and a bakery and a little shop. It's such a nice place to just stroll around and find these gems. Little fit check. I'm wearing this dress made from vintage saris by El Residue. Then we walked around a bit more. Such amazing architecture everywhere. I absolutely love it. It was very hot and humid that day, but I'll take that any day over the Dutch rain. I lived in Pondy Cherry for 5 years, and Fort Kochi gives me Pondy vibes. Like, look at this beautiful house with this architecture. There's a lot of Catholic influence here as well, so Christmas is a big thing in Cochin. After strolling around some more, we went to Seagulls, which again is an iconic spot. You can have some drinks and some prawn fry just with this gorgeous view of the water. It's the perfect place to come and chill after a day of roaming around and get some refreshments, watch all the boats pass by during sunset. It is such a relaxing activity. This was also the moment I realized I had been monetized on YouTube, so we had to cheers to that because I had reached the hours that I needed. And then we just sat and drank our beer and looked at all the different types of boats that were passing by. Coming to Cherai and Fort Kochi every time I visit India is becoming such a tradition, and I love it because I love Kerala and the food here and the beach, and it's only like 3.5 hour drive away from my home, so it's something we do every time I come. This boat actually is like a military boat, so it's really cool to just sit here and watch all the happenings go by. We saw some great graffiti on the way out, and then it was time to take the ferry to Cherai Beach. And the ferry carries not just people, not just scooters, but also cars, and you have to wait in line to get in. And this was just us exploring while my parents were waiting in line, and it was such a sight to see with all the scooters and cars getting into this really precarious looking ferry. It looks like the ferry that takes you to north in Amsterdam, but it is quite a fun thing to do, and everybody's just like in there, and then the ferry takes off and you think it's not going to work, but it works just like everything else in India. So that was our day trip to Kochi. I hope you enjoyed this. This is a new style of vlogging because it's a bit easier, but I wanted to show you my favorite spots in Fort Kochi if you're ever there. So I hope you liked it, and hit the like button. If you like this video, subscribe and watch all my other videos because now I'm monetized. Yay. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye.